questions. Watch unique strategies to ace CAT, XAT, SNAP, IIFT, TISNET, CMAT and other important MBA entrance exams. Tips and tricks to boost score, subject-wise and chapter-wise sessions, previous year's questions, exam-related update and notifications, live exam analysis and actual questions discussion. So why wait? Subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated.
Good morning everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and this is our editorial analysis. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible to everyone. Very good morning. Can you hear and see me clearly? So good to see you guys back after a long time. Very good morning. If you could quickly confirm that I'm clearly visible and audible, I shall start with the session very soon. I've got two very interesting articles today. And from one of the sources which a lot of you are scared of. Hi Prads, good morning. Could you guess what's the source of the article? When I say it's the source a lot of you are scared of, I've got two articles, okay? What could be the source? One article is from The Guardian, okay? And what's the other source? What are you guys scared of? Kaun batayega? Let's see if you can guess it. Hi, Rohit, Sai, Panda, Anuja, Tilak, Rohit, Tanushri, good morning. गैस कर सकते हो क्या सोर्स है, किससे डर लगता है, कौन से सोर्स के आर्टिकल से सबसे ज्यादा डर लगता है? आइडिया? गुड मॉर्निंग रूस्टर्स. नो आइडिया. एयन के आर्टिकल्स देखे हैं, डर लगता है उनसे. आज एयन का आर्टिकल लेके आए, आज एयन का आर्टिकल डिस्कस करेंगे. सो a lot of people are scared of Aeon articles. Why are they scared? They're scared because of the length of the Aeon articles. And वो Aeon articles इतने लंबे होते हैं, इतने long and detailed होते हैं कि a lot of people actually are scared and worried. Economist से डर लगता है साई, okay? Constitution. Vishwajit, Constitution is so simple. And you know what, Vishwajit, I'll tell you something honestly. Even if something on Constitution doesn't appear in the examination, आपको पता होना चाहिए Constitution के बारे में as a citizen of the country. Yes, Tanushri, it's Aeon. तो Aeon का article लेके आई हूँ. अच्छा, but what I've done is I've made it shorter because इतना long article अगर हम class में discuss करेंगे, then we'll be talking only and only about Aeon. And that's not what I want to do. So I've made it shorter. ठीक है? And we'll try to understand the argument presented by the author throughout the article. So we're going to be doing two articles today. One is from The Guardian and the other is from the Aeon. But if people are scared of The Economist, I think I should bring one article from The Economist as well very soon. And Sai, the same goes for you as well. People who are scared of The Economist or articles on the Constitution or articles on our economy, how it functions, these are basic principles of how our society functions. And when you look at an article from this perspective, कि ये सोसाइटी कैसे काम करती है, अगर आप उसको लॉजिक लगा के समझने की कोशिश करेंगे ना, तो आपको कभी भी इकोनॉमिस्ट के आर्टिकल्स या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेस्ड आर्टिकल्स या लॉ बेस्ड आर्टिकल समझने में कभी भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी. So, Sai, I'm assuming you did not study commerce in your schooling or economics in your schooling and that's why you struggle a little, but कोई बात नहीं. हमारा पर्पस क्लासेस का ये होता है दैट हम एक वैरायटी ऑफ सोर्सेस से आर्टिकल्स लेके आए सो दैट वी आर कंफर्टेबल विद एवरी काइंड ऑफ एक्लेक्टिक टॉपिक दैट माइट कम अप इन द एग्जामिनेशन. ओके, और कल को एक ऐसे टॉपिक पे आ गया आर्टिकल जिस पे आप कंफर्टेबल नहीं हो तो आपको वो इजीली समझ में आए, आप स्टक नहीं हो जाओ. तो ये है पर्पस इन क्लासेस का, along with understanding vocabulary and tone of the author and summary and inference. I think Prads, you wrote the summary under my previous video. I've checked that. I've commented under that. Everyone else, please make sure that you write down the summary of each of the two articles under my video in the comment section after the class ends. Think about both the articles for a few seconds and write down the summary in a crisp little form. I'll be checking each one of that. Why is the summary important? Because that will help you with the gist of the passage, main idea of the passage, argument, title. All of these questions will be answered through the summary of the article. So let's quickly start with our session. Let's have a look at the list of vocabulary today. We've got really few vocabulary, only 1.5 slide. That's all. But the articles are tricky. So we'll learn a lot of things out of the articles. So the first one is exceptionalism. The first word of the class. Exceptionalism is, you're welcome, Prads. Everyone else, make sure you write down the summary under my video. Okay, I'll be checking each one of it. Exceptionalism क्या होता है? Exceptionalism ये belief होता है कि मैं exceptional हूँ. Okay, hi Varun. So I am exceptional, not usual, not similar to everyone else. I am exceptional. That belief is called exceptionalism. Okay, now that usually links to the capitalism of US, but then उससे link करना जरूरी नहीं है. Exceptionalism किसी भी sense में आप use कर सकते हो. Belief that you are exceptional is exceptionalism. The second word is intuit. When you think about things from your intuition, हम कहते हैं ना gut feeling. Gut feeling से कोई चीज समझना, सिर्फ अपने एक्सपीरियंस से नहीं, अपने लॉजिक से नहीं, बट गट फीलिंग से. मुझे गट फीलिंग है, माय डे इज गोइंग टू बी ग्रेट टुडे. आई एम गोइंग टू हैव अ वेरी फन लर्निंग टाइम टुडे. दैट्स माय इंट्यूशन, माय गट फीलिंग. सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग थिंग्स बाय इंस्टिंक्ट एंड इंट्यूशन is intuit. I intuited his real identity. I got his real identity by my intuition. मैम ये आर्टिफिशियल एग्जाम्स में आते हैं क्या? आर्टिफिशियल एग्जाम्स ये क्या होते हैं? ये कौन से एग्जाम्स होते हैं? I've never heard of artificial exams ever. कोई बात नहीं, मे बी आप कुछ और लिखना चाहते थे. It's autocorrect. Next word is upshot. Upshot is basically coming down to the gist of something, to the outcome of something, to the result of something. So can I say the outcome, the upshot, the gist, the result of people getting vaccinated was that the effective variant of the virus became less effective. That was the outcome. बोल सकते हैं उसको, आप उसको outcome बोलो या gist बोलो या result बोलो या conclusion बोलो. All of these are upshot. The upshot of the meeting was that he was on the next plane to New York. The result of the meeting was that he had to take the next flight to New York. He had to rush to New York. Okay, so आर्टिफिशियल होता क्या है बच्चे? ये कौन सी एग्जाम होती है आर्टिफिशियल एग्जाम? अच्छा, आर्टिकल. ओके, आई नीड टू वेयर माई ग्लासेस. आई गो गेट देम. आर्टिफिशियल नहीं, आर्टिकल. यस, आई एम सॉरी. तो ये आर्टिकल एग्जाम में आते हैं क्या? आते हैं तभी तो लेती हूँ ये आर्टिकल्स. नहीं आएंगे तो क्यों लूंगी? क्यों आपका मेरा टाइम वेस्ट करूंगी? बिल्कुल एग्जाम में आएंगे. ग्लासेस पहन लिया है? I'll be able to see better now. ठीक है, next one. Sentient. Sentient is how you understand things around you. आप कैसे उनको feel करते हैं, कैसे उनको समझते हैं. So, absolutely, Prads, upshot can be used in the place of summary. Yes, we can. So, the sentient is how you feel. Sentiment से link कर सकते हो sentient को. She had been instructed from birth in the equality of all sentience of life, all the aspects, all the beliefs of life. So how you look at different aspects of life is the meaning connoted here. Perceiving things, feeling things is sentient. ठीक है? So slide number 1 एक जल्दी screenshot ले लो. बहुत ही कम words है. Then we're going to move to the article. And एक बहुत interesting perspective बताऊंगी मैं आज आपको. Okay? So I hope you've taken a screenshot, everyone. Let's move to the next article. Next page. Page number 2. Malaise, disturbance, conundrum, या फिर बीमारी, illness, या फिर एक ऐसी situation जो बहुत ही discomfort create करती है लोगों में, is malaise. A general air of malaise हो सकता है after the Afghanistan war happened, and the Afghanistan and the Taliban war happened. There was a lot of malaise in the heart of people. There was a lot of unsettling and discomfort and uneasiness in the life of the citizens of Afghanistan. So that's malaise. वो एक physical illness भी हो सकती है. So when somebody gets old, the body is full of malaise, it's full of illness. So physical illness भी हो सकती है contextually, society के sense में discomfort या discontentment या uneasiness भी हो सकता है. That's malaise. Okay. Last word is venerable. Venerable is when you look up to somebody with a lot of respect. You look up to somebody because the person has achieved a lot, the person is capable of making a change in the society. जब आप respectfully उन person को, for example, our parents are venerable for us. Okay, so veneration इसी का noun हो गया. Veneration is बहुत सारा respect देना किसी को. That's veneration. Here, a venerable statesman, ये person को बहुत respect दिया जाता था because वो एक ऐसी stature पे थे जिसको people used to look up to him. That is Siddharth. That is malicious. M-A-L. Okay, बच्चे? That's malicious. So malicious is something that's done with bad intention. Done with bad. Mal means bad. Remember, that's the root word. Like malnutrition, malice, malicious. Okay, so malicious and malice can be related. Of course, they can be. Something that's done with bad intention is malicious. So, I hope you understand venerable as well. जल्दी से thumbs up दे दो एक बार. समझ में आ गया है सबको? So that I can move to the articles and I can tell you a little bit of story behind the article. Did some research and I've got some very interesting perspective. Done everyone? आ गया सबको समझ में words? English, Hindi, both? Okay. So, chalo. But before we start, if you're targeting CAT 2022, a comprehensive program course has been launched. If you wish to study under the guidance of serial 99 percentile holders, look no further. BYJU'S Exam Prep is the place. Call our counselors on this number to know more about the program. Rush up before you get too late. The Guardian's view on guerrilla gardening. Have you heard of, now let me talk to you a little about it. Let me tell you a little bit of background about the article so that your understanding gets better. Yes, Varun, malicious software. No, Prats, it's not connected, but you can connect it to memorize the word. Okay? Okay. Ab dekho, have you heard of the phrase guerrilla war? Guerrilla war, guerrilla fight. सुना है ये माओइस्ट यूज करते हैं ये तरीका बहुत सारे और एरियाज में हमारे कंट्री में माओइस्ट यूज करते हैं गुरिल्ला वॉर एंड देन देयर आर डिफरेंट countries in the world where we've seen guerrilla war, where we've seen people fighting with the technique of guerrilla wars. Have you heard of that? Do you know what that is, guerrilla war? Can you tell me what that is? What does the word guerrilla mean in guerrilla war? Not necessarily, Prads. Mountains is one. जब आप देखोगे सुडान में गुरिल्ला वॉर बहुत पॉपुलर था. जब सुडान क्राइसिस हुआ था, अभी लेटली हुआ, आई थिंक अ फ्यू 6 months बैक, सुडान में जो क्राइसिस हुआ तो गुरिल्ला वॉर वाज यूज्ड. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, माउंटेन्स के अलावा देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ अदर प्लेसेस वेयर the attackers can hide because they know the geography. So they can hide. You don't know that? चलो मैं आपको समझाती हूँ सब लोगों को कि गुरिल्ला वॉर होता क्या है. माओइस्ट आप लोगों को पता है कौन होते हैं, मैं नहीं बताऊंगी आप लोगों को कौन होता है. अगर आपको नहीं पता है तो चेक कर लेना इसके बारे में. Guerrilla war is basically a kind of war where a small number of people, yes Sumesh, where you hide and you attack. And these people who hide, they know the local geography. And usually these small number of people are protesting and fighting against the authority. Okay? So in this guerrilla war, what is unique about the guerrilla war? बहुत सारी जगहों में छोटे ग्रुप लड़ता है पावर अथॉरिटी से. But गुरिल्ला में क्या स्पेसिफिक है? They hide because they know the geography. And the army, usually military होती है, when the military comes, they don't know the geography. Okay, Panda, वहां भी आ जाना. Yes, Abhilash, exactly. Call of Duty में तो वो छुप के रखते हैं. Okay, these guerrillas, and when the military comes, they attack. So they have an advantage because they know the geography. So the term guerrilla is usually protesting or fighting against the authority in a hidden manner. Now that's guerrilla war. What could be guerrilla gardening? Link it and understand it. What could be guerrilla gardening? Can you think without reading anything? Think and tell me. क्या हो सकता है guerrilla gardening? I'll wait. Articles छोटे करके लाइयो. Don't worry, दोनों articles पढ़ाऊंगी. What could be guerrilla gardening? गुरिल्ला है तो हिडन होगा फॉर श्योर, क्योंकि उनको ज्योग्राफी पता है. I'll wait. I'll wait for you to use your brains and make some guesses, wild guesses. Nobody? To protect themselves, they create boundaries. Okay, good guess, Tilak. Very good. Okay, I'll tell you. So, guerrilla gardening is when you move out of your home. Okay, roosters protecting type. ठीक है, चलो मैं बताती हूँ. जब आप अपने घर से निकलते हो, you go out. You see so many empty pieces of land. Yes, Priya, you deserve an applause. You got it absolutely right. You go out, you see empty pieces of land, which is usually converted into dump yards by us Indians, है ना? हम उसको dump yard में जहां खाली जगह मिलती है वहां हम dump yard बना देते हैं, वहां हम कचरा डाल देते हैं. And in fact, I remember while I was younger, I mean that was good 30, 35 years back, 40 years back. तो यही होता था कि मम्मा बोलती थी कि वो खाली जगह ना वहां कचरा डाल के आओ, क्योंकि वो खाली जगह उसको कोई यूज नहीं करता. And we used to dump things there. या फिर when you walk on the road, तो रोड साइड में ट्रीज लगे होते हैं, ट्रीज के आसपास खाली एरिया होता है. या फिर फुटपाथ है, तो फुटपाथ में पेवमेंट नहीं बना हुआ, देयर इज एम्प्टी pieces of land. This is either public property or some private property which is unutilized. And guerrilla gardening is growing up flowers, plants, vegetables in these areas in a hidden manner, because that land is not owned by you, but you grow flowers and trees and plants and vegetables in these pieces of land. But since guerrilla war was a way of protesting, what are you protesting in guerrilla gardening? Think about that, my children. What are you protesting about? गुरिल्ला वॉर में आप प्रोटेस्ट करते हैं, आप फाइट करते हैं अगेंस्ट अथॉरिटी. यहां क्या फाइट है भाई? यहां क्या लड़ाई है? यहां क्या प्रोटेस्टिंग है? बताओ मुझे. थिंक एंड टेल मी. व्हाट्स द फाइट हियर? think. Tell me. I'll wait for you to answer. What could be the fight here? Think and tell me. Or I'll tell you later on why am I asking you to think so much. Because that, my children, is called anticipation of what might come up in the articles. Protection of soil, yes, of course. But यहाँ fight क्या है बच्चे? Priya, what's the fight? Absolutely, Prats, yes. Cutting of trees, environment degradation, fighting for nature, yes, Prachwal. And fighting against the inequalities of the society, jahan some people have ample of food to eat and waste, whereas there are other people who have nothing to eat. They die of starvation. So you grow vegetables in the empty pieces of land to provide these people with food. That's another way of protesting against the authority that the guerrilla gardeners think isn't doing anything to feed the starving. So environment protection, soil protection, and protection of the unfortunate and needy is how they are protesting against the government. अब हमने देखो क्या किया यहां, हमने एंटिसिपेशन किया। और एंटिसिपेशन पता है क्यों काम आता है रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में? सारे एमबीए एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशन, स्पेसिफिकली अगर आप एनमैट देखते हो, कैट देखते हो, जैट देखते हो, they are so lengthy that you can't be reading each and every line. And when you anticipate कि अच्छा ओके दिस इज व्हाट द आर्टिकल मे बी टॉकिंग अबाउट, आप बहुत इजीली स्किम कर सकते हो। यस फ्रेंड्स, एंड दिस आर्टिकल दैट्स व्हाई इट्स मेकिंग अ प्लेस हियर एंड इट्स अ लवली वन। तो एंटिसिपेशन में आपने बहुत कुछ ऑलरेडी सोच लेते हो कि अच्छा ये लिखा हुआ होगा, और इससे हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत बहुत शूट अप होता है आर्टिकल का। आप बहुत इजीली स्किम कर सकते हैं, कुछ पार्ट्स पढ़ सकते हैं, कुछ पार्ट्स छोड़ सकते हैं। ओके तो इसीलिए आपके लिए ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है व्हाइल यू प्रैक्टिसिंग। और अभी भी हमारे पास बहुत बहुत सारे मंथ्स हैं कैट के होने से पहले, हम इजीली इस चीज को मास्टर कर सकते हैं। सो नाउ read the page and send me a done when you're done. Let's understand if our anticipation was correct. Read the page everyone, send me a done when you're done. The article, Herrick, yes it does. Read the page and send me a done. There's a movie that comes to our mind when we go ahead with the article. वॉली, देखिए मूवी, आएगा समझ में पैंडा? धीरे धीरे पढ़ते हैं, बिल्कुल आएगा समझ में। बहुत सिंपल आर्टिकल। वॉली देखिए, हैव यू सीन वॉली? इट्स देयर ऑन डिज्नी प्लस हॉटस्टार। So this line exactly tells us about Wall-E. I'll not tell you what the movie is about. If you have time, I think it's only for an hour. एक घंटे की मूवी है, टाइम मिलेगा तो देख लेना, बहुत अच्छी मूवी, बहुत मजा आएगा देख के। इट्स एनिमेटेड वन। सो डेवलपमेंट है, वेरी वेरी गुड, it's very good for our economy, but then moving more and more away from nature is not good for people. It's very very bad for people, specifically when the weight of human made material like steel and concrete and plastic, it weighed more in 2020 than the overall total of human life on earth. सोचो कितनी scary है ये चीज कि कंक्रीट और प्लास्टिक और मेटल्स का वेट और स्टील का वेट जो हम क्रिएट कर रहे हैं वो ह्यूमन लाइफ से भी बहुत ज्यादा था। स्कैरी है, और ये एवर ग्रोइंग है, एवर इंक्रीजिंग है। हम हाई राइज बनाते जा रहे हैं और हाई बनाएंगे बिल्डिंग, वर्ल्ड में सबसे बड़ी बिल्डिंग बनाएंगे। एंड देन what happens, we are moving away more and more away from the nearest wood. Wood does not mean the physical wood, the table and everything. No, wood is the jungle. We're moving away from natural jungles, and that's why the doctors started prescribing that okay, take a vacation, go to a place that's full of nature. Doctors prescribe करने लग गए, and that's true. I've seen people receiving a prescription of going away from the concrete jungle to a natural jungle because that's what you need. Fresh air, greenery around you. डॉक्टर्स का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन आने लगा, कितनी सैड हो गई है ये लाइफ। आगे देखते हैं क्या होता है। Where is Guerilla gardening coming here? Read the whole page and send me a done. आगे समझाती हूँ, पूरा पेज पढ़ लो। धीरे धीरे पढ़ना। Find the main argument. The first paragraph here on this page is very funny. Done? Panda, आ रहा है कुछ समझ में? Done. Okay. If you look at the old songs, listen to the old songs your grandfather used to listen to. It would talk about trees and flowers and the sun and the moon and the stars. It used to talk so much about nature. For every 3 nature-related word in hit songs of 1950s, the number of words about nature, they reduced to only 1 after 50 years. You listen to these Bollywood numbers by Badshah and everyone, not even 1 word of nature. All crappy songs. That means, are we losing link with the nature? Yes, we are. And surprisingly, that's the senior secondary for not our country, but for US. It's surprising that teenagers know more about video game characters. Free Fire के सब पता होगा, है ना? But we will not know about wildlife species. Kids did not even know that cheese came from animals and not plants. That means the entire gist of this paragraph, the repetition of all the examples tells us that our link to nature is reducing. We know less and less and less about nature. Our link to it is reducing ever since. But where is the guerrilla gardening here? Here is the guerrilla gardening. Part of the remedying this social malaise. Social malaise ही तो है, social problem ही तो है, ये बीमारी है सोसाइटी में कि हम कंक्रीट जंगल्स में रहते हैं and we don't know anything about nature. हमको ये नहीं पता कि चीज एनिमल से आता है, हमको वाइल्ड लाइफ स्पीशीज के बारे में नहीं पता है, हमको छुट्टी लेके जाना पड़ता है ग्रीन देखने के लिए, जंगल में जाने के लिए डॉक्टर का प्रिस्क्रिप्शन चाहिए होता है. हमारे सॉन्ग्स में नेचर के बारे में कुछ है ही नहीं डिस्क्रिप्शन. इट्स अ सोशल मलाइस, ये एक सोशल प्रॉब्लम है और इसीलिए पीपल are forcing the parliament for bringing a law, a right to grow. What's right to grow? Right to grow is I have a right to utilize a barren piece of land. If it is kept barren, I can grow anything there, not construct a house और illegally उस पे कब्जा करना है. नहीं नहीं, सिर्फ मुझे plants grow करने, vegetable grow करने, trees grow करने हैं. I just want things to grow on a barren piece of land. ये मेरा right होना चाहिए. And convert it into a place for protecting species, a public place, into vegetable garden and orchards. अभी this is mango season. आपको बहुत सारे ना रोड साइड ऐसे ट्रीज दिखते होंगे जहां मैंगोज लग रहे हैं. फिर शहतूत का सीजन आ जाता है, which you call mulberry का सीजन आ जाता है. So you see mulberry dropping off from the trees, and then you have wood apple. बेल बोलते हैं इसको, उसका सीजन आ जाता है. You see the wood apple, अभी सीजन आने वाली, turns yellow. So aren't you happy with trees bearing fruits around you? Why not more and more of it? Why not more and more of vegetable growing around us? The idea is for people to get back in touch with the soil and touch with themselves, because that's what our society is dependent upon, while producing food sustainability. कैसे food sustainability produce करेंगे हम? गुरिल्ला गार्डनिंग से. More food, utilizing it. कहना आया GCSE समझ में? That's their own higher secondary education. और उन बच्चों को नहीं पता था कि चीज एनिमल से आता है या प्लांट से आता है, और उनको वीडियो गेम्स के बारे में ज्यादा पता था. So under the proposal of the right to grow, the guerrilla gardening project, Incredible Edible, that's the name of the project of guerrilla gardening, councils want land available for community cultivation. चलो सब मिलके प्लांट्स लगाते हैं, फ्रूट्स लगाते हैं, वेजिटेबल लगाते हैं, सीड्स ग्रो करते हैं जिससे हमको खाने को मिलेगा, या फ्लावर्स भी लगा देते हैं, देखने में अच्छा लगेगा. It will be soothing to our eyes. I'll tell you something, everyone, since we meet so frequent. I'll tell you something personally. So I've recently relocated to a new city, and I don't have any plants here anymore, but the previous city where I used to live in, there was a huge garden in the on the ground floor, And it was not a garden, it was a piece of barren land. And I'm not making it up. I'll tell you something very honestly from the bottom of my heart. Barren land था बिल्कुल. और ठंड का टाइम था, कोई बच्चा के खेलता नहीं था, बिल्कुल कोई ग्रास कुछ भी नहीं था. I converted the entire barren land into a vegetable garden. With my own bare hands, I dig the soil, I planted seeds, I watered it daily. We had so many vegetables coming up there throughout the winter months till the month of March. And I always carry seeds in my bags. Kyun? Because I just can't bear the sight of empty pots and empty pieces of land. मुझे लगता है यहाँ अगर कुछ ग्रो हो जाएगा तो पूरी सोसाइटी आके लड़ेगी कि ये मुझे दे दो, इसमें से एक लेमन तोड़ के मुझे दे दो, बिकॉज लेमन इज वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, एंड थोड़ा स्पिनच मुझे दे दो, आई वांट टू कुक सम pakoras for my daughter, right? So if you come across a barren piece of land, just don't leave it barren. Just put anything there. Put a seed of mango. Probably 20 years down the line, your grandkids will enjoy, your kids will enjoy, not grandkids, your kids will enjoy the mangoes out of the tree. So they want community cultivation. Local people and volunteer groups could apply. Permission लेना पड़ेगा, permission ले लो कुछ time के लिए, agreed है? You can grow your vegetable or plants and cultivate seeds, cultivate grains from that area. Such a beautiful idea, right? Is it not beautiful? Of course it is. Read this page, send me a done. I hope अब story समझ में आ गई गुरिल्ला गार्डनिंग की सबको. क्या होती है गुरिल्ला गार्डनिंग? They want rights over barren pieces of land. कि हमको कल्टीवेशन करने दो, वैसे ही खाली पड़ा हुआ है. गवर्नमेंट इतने लैंड लेके छोड़ देती है कि हम आगे कभी कंस्ट्रक्शन करेंगे उस पे, कोई गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस बनाएंगे, कोई गवर्नमेंट बिल्डिंग बनाएंगे. अभी तो खाली है, उसको डंप यार्ड क्यों बनाना है? लेट्स मेक इट इनटू अ गार्डन. रीड द पेज एवरीवन, सेंड मी अ डन. Absolutely, Prad, such soothing sight for the eyes. Send me done when you're done. Done. So यहाँ देखो, it gives you an example of how it works, guerrilla gardening works. Imagine corn sprouting in front of police stations. Who would not love the sight? I would. Or apothecary garden flowered in the health center. An apothecary is basically making medications, okay? So growing herbal plants in at the health center. What a sight that would be. The movement spread quickly across the town and was so successful that tourists began to arrive. देखने आने लग गए tourists. They called it propaganda gardening. Why did they call it propaganda gardening? Because it had a propaganda behind it. Plants लगा रहे हैं because हमें क्या hidden motive बताया था मैंने आपको, क्या protesting बताया था, याद करो. Protesting against the authorities for inequality in terms of availability of food. हमारा कंट्री अभी स्ट्रगल कर रहा है वीट के साथ, पता है ना सबको, वीट एक्सपोर्ट बैन कर दिया अभी. आई होप यू नो द जीके हैपनिंग अराउंड. And they call it more than 170 incredible cells have now taken roots across Britain. So it's growing and growing and growing. Or ultimately what happens, it makes you kinder, it makes you more connected community. क्योंकि जब सब लोग साथ आते हैं और plants लगाते हैं और flowers लगाते हैं और contribute करते हैं, वो आपको kinder बनाता है. When you indulge into gardening, it makes you kinder. It makes you a community जहाँ हम सब connected हैं एक दूसरे के साथ. Yes, it certainly does. अब ये लाइन मुझे कौन समझाएगा? I will not explain this line. Who will explain this? Radical vegetable planting has a venerable lineage. Who will explain this line? ट्रिकी है थोड़ा सा, धीरे धीरे पढ़ो, आएगा समझ में. Radical vegetable planting has a venerable lineage. What does it mean? Try karo Abhilasha, you'll get it. Anyone? Radical vegetable planting has a venerable lineage. Venerable का मतलब क्या था? Respectful. Lineage, hierarchy. पुराने टाइम से आपके grandfather, forefathers. It's a lineage. Yes, I. Respectful lineage, respectful hierarchy, respectful history. Correct. So this kind of guerrilla gardening is not new to us. It's very, very old and it's a very respectful history. We have a very respectful history of such kind of guerrilla gardening. And then it explains what is the history. क्या हिस्ट्री है, हम कितनी रिस्पेक्टफुल हिस्ट्री रही है इसकी, सोच के देखते हैं. 1649 पे जाता है, फिर वो आपको बताता है कि कैसे हाई प्राइसेस हो गए थे और फूड शॉर्टेज हो गया था. एंड दैट्स व्हेन दे स्टार्टेड कल्टिवेटिंग वेजिटेबल ऑन कॉमन लैंड एट सेंट जॉर्जेस हिल. तो 1649 पे हिस्ट्री लेके जाता है ऑथर, बताता है ये नई नहीं है, आज नहीं स्टार्ट हुआ गुरिल्ला गार्डनिंग. 1649 से इसकी हिस्ट्री चलती आ रही है और इतनी रिस्पेक्टफुल हिस्ट्री चलती आ रही है इस तरीके की गार्डनिंग की कि जब शॉर्टेज हुआ था तो उन्होंने सेंट जॉर्जेस हिल पे कॉमन कम्युनिटी गार्डनिंग स्टार्ट करी थी. सो इट कैन बी ट्रेस्ड बैक टू सेंचुरीज. लास्ट पेज, रीड दिस. Absolutely, that's what radical is, Prads. Last page of the article. Do you see the hidden motive, Prads, in the last paragraph? जो मैंने आपको बताया था, protesting. Done. So, throwing seed bombs into vacant plots to make it into a garden. And there has been they have been revived by green thumb social media influencers who flout local US regulations in a war on urban eyesores. What is urban eyesores? Eyesore होता है जो देखने में अच्छा नहीं लगता. I don't like looking at that. Concrete jungles, huge buildings, they are urban eyesores. Natural jungles, they are pleasing to the eyes. So, अगर एक barren land को आप एक green garden बना रहे हो, it's a war against the urban eyesores, the urban jungles. Apart from making things pleasing to the eyes, the urgent task of providing more healthy nutrients to those who cannot afford them, so that fruits and vegetables are available for the needy and underprivileged. Publicly accessible fruit and vegetable garden, जो कोई भी जा सकता है fruit और vegetable pluck करके ला सकता है, publicly accessible है. And that is the purpose of guerrilla gardening. They can make unlovely spaces lovely. Of course, डंप यार्ड को अगर गार्डन बना दोगे, who would not like that? It makes unlovely places lovely. It marries the use and beauty well. Use, barren land है, put it to some good use. और वो ब्यूटी भी है क्योंकि वहां फ्लावर्स लगेंगे, फ्रूट्स लगेंगे, वेजिटेबल लगेंगे. सो यू आर मैरिंग यूज एंड ब्यूटी दोनों साथ में, कि काम भी आ रहा है और सुंदर भी लग रहा है, एज वेल एज हेल्पिंग द कम्युनिटी. सो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो बेनिफिट हो सकती है गुरिल्ला गार्डनिंग की. प्लांट्स आर ऑल्सो ऑफ कोर्स आवर फर्स्ट डिफेंस अगेंस्ट स्पीशीज लॉस. You will protect so many insects. You will protect the endangered species like honeybee. And of course, climate change तो कर ही रहे हो तुम protect. एक step होगा, but कुछ तो होगा, है ना? अगर trees लगाओगे, plants लगाओगे तो such planting is a small step to humanity in the very, very right direction. What's the tone of the author here, everyone? Tell me. Tone of the author बताइए. Yes, Sai, they are. In fact, Sai, I'll tell you something very interesting. So there are self-sustainable forests. क्या करते हैं self-sustainable forests? ये वो forest होते हैं जहां आपको सिर्फ plant करना होता है कुछ, okay? And क्योंकि तेलंगाना and आंध्रा and कर्नाटका ये ऐसे states है जहां हमको ample rainfall receive होती है, यहाँ self-sustaining plants लगा दिए जाते हैं जिनको आपको सिर्फ लगा के you just have to forget them. And it naturally grows into jungles. I have friends who's, in fact, I have a friend जिसका job है, जिसका काम है ये self-sustainable jungles लगाना. And this friend who I'm referring to has made up jungles in various countries. He's also worked in remote regions like Ladakh, जहां पानी की इतनी कमी होती है. These are another examples of guerrilla gardening. You just have to plant and forget them. वो अपने आप grow करेंगे, वो अपने आप nature से collect करेंगे चीजें. What's the tone, everyone? Tone बताओ जल्दी से. What's the tone here? Think about the article we just went through. What's the tone, everyone? क्या है इधर tone? Yes, optimistic, बिल्कुल. But more than that, it's something else. I'm waiting for a better option. ओपिनियनेटेड. विश्वजीत, ओपिनियनेटेड तब टोन होता है बच्चे जब ऑथर एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग ओपिनियन देता है. क्या ये बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग ओपिनियन है जैसे ये गवर्नमेंट सही है, ये गवर्नमेंट गलत है? ऐसा तो नहीं दिया उसने. सो विश्वजीत, दैट कैन नॉट बी एन ओपिनियनेटेड टोन बच्चे. इट कैन बी होपफुल, लाइक ऑप्टिमिस्टिक. यस प्रिया, बट इज इट नॉट, लेट मी गिव यू अ चॉइस, इज इट नॉट expository? Is he not trying to explain the basic fundamental behind? Hi Vijay, is it not trying to explain the basic fundamental behind guerrilla gardening? Yes, it's suggestive as well. The last paragraph is. So it's expository, assertive बोल सकते हो. Yes अभिलाष, बिल्कुल assertive बोल सकते हो. It's optimistic and it's suggestive. Agreed, everyone? So now let's move on to the Aeon article. Aeon article समझते हैं. Easy है, देखो डरना नहीं है. Lengthy को short बना के लेके आई हूँ. So understanding is easy here. ठीक है? So let's move on to the next article, everyone. Against human exceptionalism. नाम tricky है, but डरना नहीं है. ये पेज पढ़ो, पढ़ते ही समझ में आ जाएगा. पेज मत पढ़ो, मैं आपको बैकग्राउंड बताती हूँ, सो दैट इट्स इजियर फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. नहीं प्रिया, आपको मैं करेक्ट करती हूँ. देखो, सार्कास्टिक टोन तब होता है जब मैं चीजों को डायरेक्टली नहीं बोलती हूँ, इनडायरेक्टली बोलती हूँ. अगर किसी बच्चे ने मुझे बोला कि चीज प्लान से आता है और मैं उसको बोलती हूँ वाह बेटा बहुत सही बताया तुमने, तो द स्टेटमेंट दैट आई से इज सार्कास्टिक. यहां सिर्फ ये बताना कि चीज प्लान से आता है और बच्चों को ये नहीं पता, इसने डायरेक्टली क्रिटिसाइज किया है. इनडायरेक्ट क्रिटिसिज्म इज सार्काज्म बेटा. सो ओनली दैट लाइन इज क्रिटिकल, इट्स नॉट सार्कास्टिक. इफ आई हैव टू बी सार्कास्टिक आई विल से द अदर. क्या बात है, बहुत काम करते हो तुम, तो कोई काम नहीं करता वो. दैट्स व्हेन आई से. मम्मा बोलती है ना वाह बेटे आज तो बहुत बड़ा पढ़ाई कर ली तुमने. You don't study at all. That is sarcastic. बहुत काम करता है मेरा बेटा तो. You don't do anything at home. That is sarcastic. Saying the opposite is sarcastic. Okay. Now let me explain this article to you. A few months back you saw a human had a heart transplant and the heart was a pig's heart. That guy did not live for really long. He died 2 months after that. You remember that instance? याद है सबको? Background? He died after 2 months. और उस ट्रांसप्लांट को जीनो ट्रांसप्लांट बोला था. जीनो ट्रांसप्लांट इसलिए बोलते हैं because जीनो is foreign. So foreign heart आया उसकी बॉडी में. Pig's heart. ठीक है? You remember this, right? Now let me ask you a question. You've read this, Sai? Okay, let me ask you a question, Sai. And everyone else here. Simple yes or no में आंसर देना. क्या आपको लगता है कि आपकी लाइफ ज्यादा वैल्यू होल्ड करती है एक नॉन ह्यूमन लाइफ से? Do you think your life holds more ethical value than a non-human life? Pradyuman, I'll explain that. First answer my question. I'll make it very, very clear. They're related, but they're different. Do you think your life carries more weight than any non-human life, for example, animal's life? Yes or no? No? Sai says no? No? Okay. अच्छा, Sai एक बात बताओ. If there is a medicine that's found to cure cancer, but it's derived from animals, and God forbid, a person, you for example, God forbid, okay, are about to die and you know this medication will save your life, will you take that medication or not? Answer this. Prads, answer this. डेथ है, डेथ और लाइफ है. आपको पता है ये एनिमल प्रोडक्ट मेरी लाइफ बचाएगा, इट विल सेव माई लाइफ. विल यू नॉट टेक दैट मेडिकेशन? कैंसर है, हार्ट अटैक है, विल यू नॉट टेक इट? अब सोच के बताओ मुझे. So Vijay says he and Anna says yes. Videep says yes. लोगे ना वो मेडिकेशन? लाइफ और डेथ का मैटर है ना, लेना तो पड़ेगा. ये एक बहुत पॉपुलर मेकअप ब्रांड है. The girls must have heard of it. The boys gifting these to their girls must have also heard of it. MAC, है ना? Every single product of MAC is tested on animals. Every single medicine that comes into the market is first tested on animals. You drink milk, where does it come from? Unless and until you're a vegan, milk, butter, cheese, ghee, it comes from animals. The milk that's supposed to be for the calf, you inject the cow with hormonal injection so that she's lactating forever. And you keep away the calf so that the milk reaches you. All of these tells us that our life, human lives, carry more ethical weight. It's not merely about consuming non-vegetarian. Okay? It's way, way beyond that. And all of these examples, they tell us that human lives carry more weight. That's okay, Sai. That's absolutely okay to have a fair share of disagreement. It's just to provoke a thought in the mind of everyone who's watching my video right now so that they understand the perspective of how somebody thinks. It's not merely about consuming non-vegetarian, okay? So, इसीलिए, of course, roosters, सब कुछ टेस्ट होता है बेटा. Everything is tested. So, commonly ये perception होता है कि human lives carry more weight than any other non-human. But is that true? Is the question in the passage. Let's understand if our lives carry more weight or not. Read this Read this page. Send me a done when you're done. यार मेरा एक कंप्लेन है तुम लोगों से, तुम लोग शेयर नहीं करते हो मेरा वीडियो. You must be in so many Telegram groups where there are so many cat kids. Why don't you share it? Please share. That's going to do me some favor. Thank you if you are sharing it. Read the page and send me done. Done? अब देखो इधर author is reiterating the question again. The question is that our lives are more valuable than animals' life. Again, the same question. And then he tries to explain what ethicists believe in. So, because we're talking about ethical value about human lives and non-human lives, let's look at a hierarchy. Ethicists say that the hierarchy of all the lives present in the world, humans stop it. And humans stop it because according to the various species that are there in the world, humans सबसे ऊपर आते हैं. Okay? Depending upon various things. और अगर humans सबसे ऊपर आते हैं हायरार्की में, तो क्या humans के पास right है अपनी life को prioritize करने का? शायद है. According to ethicists. Okay? So they say that human interest extra ethical weight because we have special bonds and the sense of solidarity with members of our own species. हम एक तो सबसे ऊपर इसलिए आते हैं बिकॉज हम अपने ही स्पीशीज के लोग होमोसेपियंस के साथ अच्छे से एक कम्युनिटी की तरह रहते हैं और हमारा उनके साथ बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग लिंक है. एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाई हम अपने ही स्पीशीज के लिए अच्छा चाहते हैं. वी वांट गुड फॉर आवर स्पीशीज और इसीलिए हमारी रैंकिंग सबसे ऊपर आती है. अगर हमारी रैंकिंग सबसे ऊपर आती है, it should be okay for us to prioritize, ethically prioritize our own lives over others. You link it to the xeno transplant example कि कैसे एक पिग का हार्ट लेना ओके था according to ethicists. But author का क्या point of view है? What does the author think? Are the ethicists correct in doing so? Let's understand that. Read this page, everyone. That's usually what Aeon does to us. The first 3 lines are beautiful. It's a tight slap on our faces. Did you see the slap coming? आया समझ में ये कहां से आया? क्या स्लैप है ये? ये स्लैप इसलिए है बिकॉज climate change disastrous है. Possibly our grandchildren wouldn't be able to survive into the world because आप लोग सोच सकते हैं मैम कितना ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन रेफर करती है ऑल द टाइम। ऑफकोर्स क्योंकि हम फ्यूचर जनरेशन की बात करें तो वो हमारे ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन ही तो होंगे, है ना। तो देखो टाइट स्लैप कैसे है यहाँ। द ऑथर सेज हम जैसे अपनी फ्यूचर जनरेशन के इंटरेस्ट को डिस्काउंट कर देते हैं, हमको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है फ्यूचर जनरेशन रहेगी नहीं रहेगी, कैसा वर्ल्ड मिलेगा उनको, हमको एसी चलाना है, हमको डीजल पेट्रोल गाड़ी चलानी है, हमको फ्रिज यूज करना है, हमको ट्रीज कट करने हैं, हमको कंक्रीट बिल्डिंग बनानी है। वी डिस्काउंट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ फ्यूचर जनरेशन। वैसे ही हम नॉन ह्यूमन एनिमल्स की भी इंटरेस्ट को डिस्काउंट कर सकते हैं ना, क्योंकि हम सेल्फिश हैं। हमको क्या फर्क पड़ता है एनिमल्स के साथ क्या हो रहा है या फ्यूचर जनरेशन के साथ क्या हो रहा है, मेरी लाइफ प्रायोरिटी है। दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट द एथिसिस्ट सेड। हम चार्ट के हायरार्की के टॉप में आते हैं। We will not discount our lives. We will discount everyone else's life. Future generation हो, non-humans हो। कितना बड़ा sarcasm है ये, देखा तुमने? In the response, some ethicists, that's what the author's point of view. आप समझते ऑथर क्या बोल रहा है यहाँ? ऑथर का point of view अभी आए। So the author says some ethicists contend that we should reject species hierarchy entirely. He says hierarchy क्या है? कुछ नहीं है. It's all crap. We don't need a hierarchy of species. It's every species comes in a single line and every life is equal. There's no hierarchy जहां humans top पे और animals उनके नीचे. No. While I think that this rejection of species hierarchy is worthy of consideration, I want to defend a separate idea. Even if we accepted the species hierarchy and capacity-based relationship-based grounds, it will still not follow our current stance of human exceptionalism is acceptable. And the author says, one, there is no hierarchy. Two, even if there's a hierarchy, humans are exceptional is a false idea. You aren't. Even if you're at the top of the hierarchy, your life isn't a priority over the others. So the author disagrees with all of our common beliefs and he agrees with science belief that priority अपनी life को देना गलत है. We would need to think carefully about how much ethical weight different animals also carry. क्योंकि उनकी life भी तो important है. So उनकी life भी तो ethical way carry कर सकती है. And हम situation के according अपनी life या उनकी life prioritize कर सकते हैं. And we might be actually surprised if we study how much ethical weight an animal's life would carry. Once I was traveling, I'll tell you a scene. Try to imagine the scene in your head. It's etched in my head and it cannot move out. I was in my car, okay, and I think, in Tamil Nadu. And I saw a cow, okay, in a field. And the cow was lying down. And I could see that the cow is either dead or on the verge of being dead. Please don't link cow to any political matters here. It's only a scene that I am reiterating from my experience. Either the cow was dead or the cow was almost dead. And there was a child, probably 10, 12 years old. And the child was sitting near the face of the cow and soothing the cow's head like this. Why would he care? Does that life hold any ethical value over the human's life? Yes, probably did. And I can never leave that scene out of my mind. It could have been any other animal. It was either completely dead or almost dead. That means animal lives hold more value than human lives. Read this page, send me a done again. Oh, bhai sahab. What is this happening? Okay, I have to click a picture of this and send it to everyone. पढ़ लो बच्चे. पढ़ लो आर्टिकल. और मैम की स्पेलिंग गलत लिखी है, इसको सही कर लेना. ओके, पढ़ लो पेज. Send me done when you're done. कुछ आ रहा है इधर समझ में क्या हो रहा है पेज में? Do you see the arguments कि ऑथर आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहा है, फिर काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहा है, फिर आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहा है, फिर काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट दे रहा है. डू यू सी द लिंक? एंड एवरी टाइम ही स्टेट्स कि जैसे हायरार्की, प्रीवियस पेज में क्या था, ही गेव यू एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ हायरार्की कि हम टॉप पे आते हैं, उसको नलिफाई उसने किया काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट देके. एंड देन हियर एज वेल एक्सेप्शनलिज्म पे एक आर्ग्यूमेंट दिया, उसको फिर काउंटर किया दूसरे पैराग्राफ में. The entire passage, I've made it shorter, but the entire passage follows the same timeline. An argument, a common argument given by people who believe that humans hold more ethical value than, and their lives hold more ethical value than non-humans. And then the author is countering it. The author says, no, that's not true. So the entire page does that. I'll explain this. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Anna, I'll explain this first paragraph again. So in particular, if we take our own arguments for human exceptionalism seriously, that humans are exceptional. हमारी life सबसे ज़्यादा important है. If we take this seriously, then the upshot, then the conclusion is not that we always take priority, but rather we sometimes do. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि human exceptionalism तो है, but हर बार नहीं है, कभी-कभी है. Sometimes you can take priority of your lives, but not always. And when we consider the scale of non-human suffering and death in the world and the extent of our complicity in this suffering and death, animals suffering, animals dying, extinction that's happening, जब हम उस पे ध्यान देते हैं, we can see that human exceptionalism has it backwards. अगर animals extinct हो जाओगे तो तुम कहाँ जाओगे? कहाँ, क्या प्रायोरिटी होगी तुम्हारे एथिकल लाइफ की? कोई प्रायोरिटी नहीं होगी. तो एक्चुअली जब हम अपनी लाइफ को प्रायोरिटाइज करते हैं और जब हम देखते हैं डेथ और सफरिंग नॉन ह्यूमन लाइफ में, तो हमारी लाइफ एक्चुअली बैकवर्ड्स जाती है कि एनिमल्स की लाइफ भी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है, या कभी कभी उनकी इंपॉर्टेंट है, कभी कभी आपकी इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्योंकि अगर वो एक्सटिंक्ट हो गए या अगर उनका डेथ हुआ या सफरिंग हुआ, व्हाट विल यू डू? You won't be able to do anything. You'll be only consuming artificially created plastic based things. You'll not have anything. If anything we increase it, because देखो फूड साइकिल, फूड चेन याद है, सब कुछ डिपेंडेंट है. अगर एक खत्म हुआ तो साइकिल ब्रेक हो जाएगी. If anything we increasingly have capacities based on relationship based grounds for prioritizing non-human animals. ठीक है. फिर एक और एग्जांपल आता है, मेरी फैमिली तुम्हारी फैमिली से पहले आएगी मेरे लिए, मेरी लाइफ तुमसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, मैं अपना ध्यान रखूंगी तभी तो तुम्हारा ध्यान रख पाऊंगी ना. मेरा वीडियो शेयर करोगे तभी तो और क्लासेस लेके आ पाऊंगी ना. मेरी लाइफ तुम्हारी लाइफ से ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, ऐसा एक कॉमन बिलीफ है. उसको भी ऑथर काउंटर करता है आगे. देखो कैसे, पढ़ो इसको. ये लास्ट पेज आई थिंक, यस दैट्स द लास्ट पेज. पढ़ो इसको एंड सेंड मी अ डन. Yes, Anna, we are. Certainly. अच्छा गाइस, मैंने ना एक ये पेड प्रमोटर नहीं लेके आई हूं मैं क्लास में. डोंट बिलीव इनटू दिस, ओके? आई डिड नॉट क्रिएट दिस अकाउंट एंड आई एम नॉट प्रमोटिंग माई सेल्फ बाय दिस फैन अल्पा मैम अकाउंट, ओके? डोंट बिलीव इनटू इट. रीड द आर्टिकल एवरीवन. You now see the upshot, you now see the gist, the result that we need to. Yes, Sai, I eliminated that example. Exactly. But I eliminated it because it was too long a read otherwise. So he says the upshot is that we need to rethink our relationship with other animals from the ground up. The ground up in the sense of the hierarchy. We need to rethink our relationship with them. When setting priorities across species, we have a responsibility to follow the best information and arguments where they lead rather than assume a self-serving conclusion from the start. That is, analyze a situation. Think before you prioritize yourself. Not every time you can be a priority over other animals. And don't always find a conclusion from the beginning that your life is more important than other animals' life. And when we take our thumbs off the scales, we can expect the scales to shift. Scales, our life is more important. When we take our thumbs away, we will see that the scales are shifting. Non-human lives will become more important. We should already be treating non-humans much better, like we are treating them. Eventually, we might even need to prioritize their interests. Yes, over our own, because without them, we will be nothing. That is one thing we need to remember. We should start preparing for that possibility now, that our lives aren't more important always than animals' lives. Tone of the author, everybody. What's the tone? Be very careful here. Tone of the author, everyone. Okay, no argument. What's the tone? क्यों आर्ग्यू कर रहे हो? ऑथर का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू सुपीरियर होगा ना आपके लिए, आंसर तो उसी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से करोगे. व्हाट्स द टोन? Be careful, only one answer. Absolutely argumentative and analytical. No other tone. Argumentative and analytical. He argues throughout the passage. And it's analytical. He analyzes if our lives are more important or not. And with the analysis, he argues continuously. These are the two tones of this article, argumentative and analytical. Homework kya hai aapka? You will comment under my video with the summary. Make sure you write the summary. I'll be checking each one of it. Don't leave without liking, sharing the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram. Download the app on Google Play. Thank you so much, everyone. But I will not see you on Friday. No, Thursday. Will I? No. I will see you. Yes, I will see you on Thursday. Yes, I will be available. So see you on Thursday, everyone. Have a very, very good day. God bless all of you.